Hey, hello everyone, my name is Chris and welcome back to another game review. Today I'm gonna be reviewing Max Payne 2 and as usual I'm quickly gonna go through the story of this game to tell in short what this game is all about, then I'm gonna share my own opinions and thoughts about this game, so in case you didn't play it, one big spoiler alert across the screen, and yeah, just click away from this video to avoid spoilers and come back after you play a game if you want to guys. If you don't want to, you don't have to, it's totally fine, but if you really are interested in my opinions and thoughts about this game right now, then stay with me till the end of this video and let's get started. Alright guys, Max Payne 2 is a third-person action shooter released in 2003. It was developed by Remedy Entertainment and Rockstar. Game was developed in Renderware engine and it's a sequel to first Max Payne game that was released in 2001, and I by the way played it and reviewed it on my channel, so you can go and check it out anytime if you want to guys. Anyway, story of Max Payne 2 again puts you in the shoes of Detective Max Payne, our main protagonist that we play with through the entire Max Payne trilogy. And this game takes some time after the first game. I don't know how long, but it does take some time after the first game. And Max is back at NYPD working as a detective, and he's working on a case. And while working on the case, he runs into Mona Sachs, an assassin from the first game that he considered dead. And now she's a suspect in his case, but he doesn't bring her in because he falls in love with her, and she also falls in love with him. So that's where the trouble starts. After the police department figures out that Max was helping Mona and working with her, they suspend him once again and they jail her. She escapes from the custody and now they're both kinda on their own because they realize they're being hunted by this inner circle organization that is also mentioned in the first game, and whoever knows about them, which is in this case Max and Mona, they send people after them to kill them. So they're just both on their own, in love and trying to survive and find a way out of that situation. And then Max goes to his old friend that he met in the first game, and he was part of Inner Circle organization as well. So he asks him a few questions and tries to figure out why is Inner Circle organization trying to kill him and Mona. And then he explains him that Inner Circle organization was betrayed by this guy called Vladimir Len, which is also a character that shows up in the first game, an old friend of Max. So he betrayed them and he betrayed Max, and he wants to start some sort of gang wars, and in order to do that he has to kill Mona and Max. And from that point on, Max is on a mission to kill Vladimir and put an end to his evil plan and just save himself and Mona from that and from these bad people that are trying to kill him. And in short, that's the story of Max Payne 2, The Fall of Max Payne, which is the full name of the game. So in my opinion, the story was pretty good. I would even dare to say that I enjoyed it more than the first game story. I mean, first game had a phenomenal story for its setting, and again, this is an action shooter. It's not a game that you're gonna play for the story just like the first game, but it's still pretty good and pretty well done, pretty well written. Some unexpected things with some other characters happen through the story of Max Payne 2, and some plots are totally unexpected and I really like them. And I think Max Payne 2 had a pretty good story for one third-person shooter. Once again, they did a phenomenal job with it, and I really enjoyed it for what it was. In Max Payne 2, just like in the first game, story of the game is also being told through the graphic novel, but only this time there is a lot more cutscenes as well, and they're all really nicely animated this time, and they added facial animations to characters and all that, so it's also improved and much better than it was in the first game. Alright, let's move on to gameplay, which is once again what this entire game is all about. Just like the first game, nothing changed since then. So gameplay of Max Payne 2 is literally all the same as the first game, just improved. So they took everything from the first game and improved it in the second game. First thing that you're gonna notice once you start playing Max Payne 2 is that they've changed the engine and that they added the ragdoll. So back in 2003, that was a new thing, that was a new technology, and that was something very innovative to see in video games. So they applied ragdoll on all objects and AI. So once you kill an AI, you can see them falling on the ground and leaning against the wall, and they just added the ragdoll. I think I don't have to explain to you what the ragdoll is. I'm pretty sure all of you know what the ragdoll is, and that's the main change about the Max Payne 2. The gameplay is also improved in every way. For example, slow motion is a big part of Max Payne, and that's what the first game was all about, and again that's what the second game is again all about. It's so fun to once again dive in slow motion, shoot your weapons and enemies in slow motion. Guns are definitely much more precise, so you can hit your targets easier. It's more fun, and it's finally fixed that clunkiness. That entire clunkiness that was present in the first game is now fixed with the ragdoll and just improved engine and gameplay. Slow motion in general also feels much smoother. Controls are slightly changed. With the right click now, you enter the slow-mo that you entered in the first game with a shift. So they moved that to the right click button, so you go to slow-mo where you can just move around until you have that slow-mo meter filled up, and slow-mo is much more smoother. It allows you to move smoother. It's not that slow as in the first game, so they finally found a nice balance between slow motion and nice clean shooting that allows you to hit all your enemies, and it's really smooth. And it's the same thing with dive slow motion, so you can also dive just like in the first game. That button was now moved to the shift on your keyboard, so if you want to dive in slow motion you press shift, and again you can shoot your target smoothly. I don't know how to explain it. It's just simply slow-mo just feels much more fluid, and it's really nice. Action again is smoothed up. Everything, like I said, is just taken from the first game and improved. So the same thing is with the action. It's much smoother. You have much more different weapons available. You have, for example, AK, you have MP5, you can now dual wield Desert Eagles. They fixed the throwing grenade button. You don't have to equip the grenade in your hands to throw it. You just select it and press F. They added melee with your weapons. Again, you select it and just press F if you want a melee, which is something you're probably never gonna use in this game. But yeah, they just improved the game and removed that clunkiness that was available in the first game, and it's much better. Gameplay is just improved in every way, definitely. Looting is again something that's present in the second game. You have to search for guns, ammunition, and especially those painkillers. They're again hidden around the maps on the secret places. You just pick them up and eat them to heal yourself up. But to be honest, finding painkillers in the second game is much more easier than in the first game, and they realize finally that as a player you're gonna get shot a lot and that you'll have to heal constantly through the level, so they made it easier for you to find these painkillers, and they're not that hard to find anymore. So again, that brings the nice balance. They also reduced the blast radius from the grenades, so you're not gonna die from grenades that easily. Again, that's something phenomenal, and I'm really glad to see. You can pretty easily kill your enemies by throwing frags, but they cannot really kill you that easily when they throw them at you, because blast radius of a grenade is more realistic and improved than it was in the first game. It's not that clunky with all the ragdoll and everything. It's much better. Also, gun sounds in Max Payne 2 have been changed, and some new ones were added for new weapons, so it might take some time until you get used to them. Again, all the details that were present in the first game are also present in the second game. All the blood splatter and the different magazines from different weapons when you fire them, and when Max reloads a weapon, so each weapon has a different magazine, and when it drops on the ground, like the casings and magazines, they're all different depending by the weapons. Something new, and especially something that surprised me in Max Payne 2, is real-time mirrors. So I didn't know that in 2003 they had real-time mirrors. That was something pretty cool for me to see. So sometimes you'll enter these bathrooms and they're gonna have the mirrors in front of them, and you can see yourself like a reflection in real time, and it's very well done actually. So I'm really surprised that Rockstar and Remedy did that back in 2003. Pretty impressive detail, to be honest. And in short, I think I said everything about the gameplay. This game is extremely simple. You run around the maps, shoot your enemies in slow motion or not. It's totally up to you when you want to trigger that slow motion. You just go through the levels, shoot a bunch of guys, and that's it. You loot for these supplies, painkillers, ammo. It's just a bunch of cool action. It's a third-person shooter, and it's much better than the first game. Game was improved in any way, definitely. Unfortunately, it didn't sell not even close as the first game did. I don't know why, but the game definitely is improved in any way. Oh yeah, I also forgot to mention that in Max Payne 2 you have, I think, 2 missions where you play as Mona Sachs. So you have 2 playable characters in this game, and it's pretty cool to play with her and from her perspective at those 2 missions. I really enjoyed it, and it was really fun. Also, sometimes you will run into NPCs that will offer their help to you, so you can pick them up and they will fight alongside you. But you can also accidentally, or even if you want to, shoot them at any moment and kill them, or they can also die from other NPCs shooting back at them. So that's also something new that was added in Max Payne 2, but I think that was also present in the first game at few moments, not really sure, but yeah, it's more often to happen in the second game, and it's also something that's pretty cool, so you can have your friends fighting alongside you. Now for the end, as usual, I could talk about graphics and optimization of Max Payne 2, but for me to talk about graphics is pretty pointless because this is an 18-year-old game and literally any computer today can run this game on all maxed out possible settings without any problems. But to be honest, the game itself for 2003 doesn't look bad at all. I definitely seen worse looking games graphically for 2003, and this actually looks pretty good. And the effects and everything looks really nice for 2003, to be honest. But yeah, performance side was also really good most of the time. The only bug I encountered in Max Payne 2 is the sound bug. Sometimes bullet casings sound will get bugged, and it will just make this rapid dropping noise at the place where you were standing when you fired your weapon. That doesn't happen very often, but it happened to me about 5 to 10 times through the game, and I don't know what's up with that, but once you pause the game and unpause it, it stops. That bug is fixed, and yeah, that's the only bug that I encountered in this game, and it just works nice. Everything else works nice. I didn't have any problems with crashing or anything. It's a very old game, and it's pretty surprising to see that it works really nice without any errors, crashes or anything on Windows 10 in 2021. So it's really good. I don't have any problems from that side. So yeah, that's it guys for my Max Payne 2 the Fall of Max Payne, so I can say the full name of a game for the end at least, review. And if you enjoyed it, then go ahead and leave a like, share, comment or subscribe if you want to guys. If you don't want to, you don't have to, it's totally fine. You can also join my Chris Facebook group. I post all kind of stuff over there, link is down below in the description. So yeah, join if you want. Again, if you don't want to, you don't have to, it's totally fine. I just want to say one big thank you for watching. I appreciate all of your support and everything you've done for me and my channel so far. You're amazing guys. I love you, and I'll definitely see you in the next videos. Chris out.